Gifts, wisdom, and skills, it transcends all races, all cultures, all ethnicities. So I don't want you to think less of yourself. Whatever gift of teaching, gift of speaking, gift of wisdom, gift of counsel, gift of the arts, gift of styling that God has given you, it transcends all nations. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tosin here. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about things to do as a content creator relocating. So if you'd like to know more, definitely keep watching. So a few background or some background information. I used to live in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria, and when I was in Nigeria, I started being a content creator. At the time, I think we used to call them influencers, right? Whenever I used to call them content creation. I'd garnered a few following on Instagram, on Facebook, on my Facebook page at the time. I had a blog that was very popular. I'd won, I think, 2 awards as well for my blog. I did lifestyle, faith, a lot of things on my blog. I don't really use the blog anymore, but I'll leave the links as well in the description box in case you're just curious. So I was doing quite well. I started getting paid for gigs, sort of, I'd worked with some notable brands, some, even what would I call them, cellular companies, like, at the time, MTN, if you know what MTN is, wherever part of the world they're watching from, it's like Verizon, something like that. So I've done a few campaigns for them. I've done, attended some really nice events. I was doing okay, right? Was it enough to pay my bills? I was living at home, so I would say yes. I was living with my parents. So I was living there. Fast forward, I decided to further my education. I moved to Glasgow, Scotland, to do my master's. This was 2013. So I was done with my program and I was still doing content creation during the time of my program. That was when I started my YouTube channel officially. So I'd done maybe one video in Nigeria or two. I put them on YouTube, but I wasn't serious with it. I would say I wasn't consistent. But once I moved here, I had more time. I was living alone. I was able to build, my YouTube channel. I was also going through a very transformative period in my life at that time. So I was able to, do videos surrounding those topics, and they did quite well on YouTube. So obviously I relocated and then Instagram started popping. Instagram wasn't popping as such when I was living in Nigeria. So I would say as of 2014, 2013, 2015, Instagram kind of changed. And you were able to we were posting back to back. They were bringing in new features at the time. So obviously the content creator genre was now becoming more niche and people could also earn from it. So a few things that I would share, obviously, if you're a content creator, let me say you're currently living in Nigeria or South Africa, or you're moving to another country, maybe a first world country, for example, the United Kingdom. Is this even really a first world country? But you get the you get the gist. These are some things that I think you can put into place. The first point definitely is you want to start knowing the cultures of that country, even choice of words. The reason is, what you don't want to do is to be a content creator that is living in another country but you're not working with brands from that country. That's a trap that a lot of people fall into, that they find themselves that because even if they've moved abroad, they have not positioned themselves in such a way that the people in the land, and I'm going to be using myself as an example, you've positioned yourself to be so niche to a Nigerian community that other people from other cultures cannot relate to your content. You see what I'm saying, right? One thing I'll also say is that gifts, wisdom, and skills, it transcends all races, all cultures, all ethnicities. So I don't want you to think less of yourself. Whatever gift of teaching, gift of speaking, gift of wisdom, gift of counsel, gift of the arts, gift of styling that God has given you, it transcends all nations and all cultures. So definitely there's a place for you globally. There is a place for you, right? So you definitely want to position yourself in a way that brands can be reaching out to you. So that means even tweaking your bio. When you do videos, the choice of words that you use that that can be better understood regardless of where the person is watching it from. I'm not saying, I still do some Yoruba vlogs on my page. That's not what I'm saying. Even people that are here that are from, let me say, French origins, they also still speak their own language. But just tuning your content in a way that it's also can reach the people of the land, and I'll put it that way. So you want to do maybe things on local matters. You also want to do things not from an immigrant perspective as such. There's a place for that, but if you want to do something in a way that you will not niche yourself into that immigrant stories, you've been living in a country for 11 years and you are still, You're still foreshadowing that you're no longer a new immigrant. You might still be an immigrant, but you're no longer a new immigrant. Do you understand what I'm saying? You should have absorbed the cultures. So I said that's the first thing. So, look at the culture where you're at and see the differences and how you can meet the needs or meet the palettes of those that are there. So that's one. Another, tailor your content to location specific. So obviously these are using Instagram tools now, using the right hashtags, make sure that they are known in that city. When PR companies are looking for you, I think the title of this video should be, moving as a content creator that wants to earn, right? Using the right hashtag, using the right hashtags now. I don't know if they work as much as before, but at the time it was very useful. Even till now, I still hashtag my videos, using the right hashtags, using the right location, connecting with other creators in that city, not necessarily the ones that look like you, just creators that that you enjoy their content, they are local. The truth is, sometimes I get invited for events and it's because another creator that is local to this country, I put my name down, right, as someone that they should also invite. Because sometimes PR companies say, oh, do you have other content creators that you think would do well in this niche or in this space? Bring them along. And that's also helped as well. So that's another thing as regarding using like location, geolocating geographing your content to meet the locality of where you are as well. That's another thing. If you're relocating and maybe you already have a YouTube channel, this might not apply to you if you do not have a YouTube channel. I would highly recommend opening a new AdSense account. Just close the one that you have in Nigeria, open a new one, link it to your account. That 1 month of that change, they would hold the money and they'll pay the next month, right? Don't worry, so you won't lose any money. Just change it. Just don't ask me why. Just trust me on this one. Change your AdSense account, because the one in Nigeria, the CPM per click is so low. But when you're in the UK, you'll be able to compete effectively with other people within your niche that are here in the UK. I'm just using my own life example. Whatever country you're in, I hope you should be able to apply. If you're in Australia or Canada or America, you should be able to apply. You also want to, mainly change your AdSense account in such a way that you're connected to your UK bank account. You're not earning Naira, you're earning the dollars. It's not being changed through CBN exchange rates. It's being changed with the equivalent. So as you're earning in dollars, they're paying you in pounds or Japanese yen or Chinese yuan or wherever that you move to. That's another thing that I would say on tools, so AdSense. Another thing that I would say would be useful for you if you're relocating is the types of pages you interact with, right? Honestly, if you're going to be interacting with strictly Nigerian pages or Nigerian accounts and you're relocating, that's where your algorithm will be. They will be pushing your content to the same type of people. So I would say begin to interact more with people. Like when I say interact, like the other ones, but like more, interact, engage more, visit their pages more. It begins to change your geolocation to the point that I've worked with at least, totally since I moved to the UK, at least 300 brands, and I would say a good chunk of that always asks you to screenshot your demographic, right? So by the time you're in the UK, a UK company that wants to reach a UK audience is asking you to do your demographic, and 90% of your demographic is based in Nigeria. You're not suitable for that campaign. Do you see what I'm saying? You're not suitable for that campaign. So definitely you want to interact with the country that you are in. Those are the kind of things you want to see on the algorithm. Reduce your interaction with gossip blogs. Reduce your interaction with, if you're going to be doing blogs, so do the blogs that are here. Trust me on this one. I don't know how Instagram works, but trust me, it works, right? Another thing I also say as a content creator is actually signing up. I know a lot of people don't like spam, but signing up on like PR platforms, on websites, most companies. So let's say you want to work with MAC now, right? MAC, the makeup company. Sometimes if you go on their websites, you might see at the bottom, join affiliate, or are you a content creator? Some of them, they give you opportunities to sign up. You might never get any campaign from them, but at least you begin to get newsletters. If they are coming to your city, you'll be able to invite them to events. You can network one-on-one. I remember that I got a gig that I had to travel out of Glasgow for to, I think, Edinburgh, just an hour journey. And when I got there, it was such a beautiful experience. I was literally the only black content creator there. And when I usually have gigs like that, I always ask, like, how come I'm the only black person? I always like to ensure that, I want to know why, so that other people too, I can put other people in and put other people on as well. And I asked her, and I'm like, oh, how did she find my account? And she said, one PR company, recommended me. When I looked up the PR company, it was a fully Scottish PR company that one day I had randomly, gone for an event and I met the person there and I spoke to him, we met one another, we exchanged Instagram handles, and the guy popped me my name on those PR lists, and that's how I got that gig at the time. So obviously these are some of the things that you want to consider as regards, being networking, connecting with people in the country that you want to be. Like, find somebody, if this is something you want to do full time. Me, I'm not a content creator full time. I have a business, I have a job, right? But if it's something you want to do full time, you also, I would say, if you can save some coins and pay for a little bit of coaching with somebody, let them see your rate card. I was speaking to a PR manager in Nigeria recently, and everything she was saying did not fly with me because the PR managers I worked with there, they work totally different. And I'll give you a case in point. She was telling me that, PR, and when she reaches out to influencers in Nigeria, Nigerian influencers in Nigeria, and she tells them when she wants to work on a campaign, that they will ask her, well, what's the company? Can I know more about the campaign? Do you have a set budget? And she finds that weird because she feels like that means the content creator does not have a rate card. So if she calls a smaller brand, they will give maybe a normal rate. If she calls a higher end brand, they will increase their price. And I said, and so what's the problem with that? I had to explain to her that the PR companies I work with here, their starter mail is, I'll see if I can find the screenshots and put it in. Hi Tosin, I found your Instagram page, you're a perfect fit for this campaign. We have set aside a budget of 1,500, 500 pounds, 4,000 pounds, whatever the money is. And we want in exchange for that 1 reel, 3 stories, and for you to attend this event. Would this work for you? Half of the mails I get, that's the way they say it. And then I now reply and say, oh, thank you so much. I'm happy to work on this campaign. Well, unfortunately, the deliverables that you've asked for, I think they're a lot in comparison to how much you're going to pay. If this budget is fixed, I can do, maybe I'll remove one item from the deliverable. And this is what I'll be able to do. No hard feelings. They tell you their budget. You're already a good fit. They're the ones that reached out to you, right? And you're able to work with the campaign. But if you're coming as a Nigerian content creator to the UK platform, you might be selling yourself short. So when someone reaches out to you and says, oh, we have a set budget, so let me say £250, you jump at it, right? Because first of all, you've already changed it to Naira. Like, oh, that's already 500,000 Naira. You change it to Naira, and you don't know that they actually had a budget of £1,000 per content creator. But because, they showed you their budget on time, you did not have the guts and the confidence to say, no, I'm sorry, I can't do £250. Just what I'm saying, because you've not gotten proper coaching. So please feel free. And when you ask, I know that it's when you follow a content creator, not everybody is as accessible as I would say I am on my stories. Like, you leave me a question, I'm happy to reply. Some people will tell you, go and use the link in their bio and book for a session. And there's no hard feelings. It's their job, right? They're passing in knowledge that you ideally should be paying for, right? Do you see what I'm saying? So please find someone that maybe that can coach you on the terrains, the rate card, how to reply emails, how prompt you should be, contracts, like all the things that maybe where you're coming from, it was not a norm. For instance, like lifetime usage of your content. Some brands are very funny. They will agree with you on just a reel and then they will sponsor the reel. They didn't agree with you that they were going to, promote that reel. When I say sponsor, you know what I mean, like promote. You need to know all those things so that you will have the confidence of pitching, or not pitching, or the confidence of maybe replying mails, answering mails. And also if you decide to pitch, it's not something I really do, but if I do, I don't think I've ever pitched. Maybe once, maybe to TK Maxx, because the brand that I actually love. So I don't do it, right? So if you want to pitch, also you're speaking to someone that maybe they'll teach you how to pitch, to give you their templates, how to pitch, how to reject campaigns and all of that. So definitely you want to consider coaching. And lastly, another thing you might also want to consider is the quality of your content as well. If you're in an environment where the other people that are also in your industry they are producing 4K, 5K content. I mean, somewhere like America, a lot of the content creators there, it's a full-blown production. They're using HD cameras, 4K lenses, and maybe you're not even using a HD phone, you're using a phone that the camera is not. You might need to find a way to just upgrade, not because you don't want to start with what you have, but because of the climate of where you're in. There's no room for mediocrity or being mediocre. There's no room for that. So you also maybe want to try and invest. If you have loved ones, instead of them buying you bags and shoes and stuff for your birthdays, consider things or tools that will make your work life more productive, your work life as a content creator more productive. If that means getting a gimbal, a stabilizer, a tripod, a higher SD card, a newer camera, better phone. If you don't want to use a camera, a better phone. Maybe if you're doing recipes, something that people that are in that climate, they're already used to watching a literal production, and then you're coming with something that is not really good enough. You can infuse your personality I'm not saying that it needs to be top tier like a movie producer, no, but at least crisp enough to keep them coming back. So I hope with these few tips, if you're relocating maybe from Nigeria or from Lagos to Glasgow or Lagos to the UK or to Canada or to wherever you're coming from to where you're going to, I hope that these tips are useful and you're able to apply it into your work life as a future or current content creator. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave your own points as well if this has applied to you and you have more nuggets to share. I'm sure whoever meets this video will be able to learn from it. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye-bye.